Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Wow. February 2025 promises to be a pretty darn good month. If you've been looking for work or trying to improve your health, thinking of getting a pet, or even moving your home to a rental property or something like that, all systems go as Jupiter has direct in that sixth house, as well as a huge pile up in your third house of travel, indicating potentially a bit of travel coming up this February, and indeed, maybe even a lot of activity when it comes to your neighbors, neighborhood, or online world. All said and done, what's great about this month ahead for every sign is we have Jupiter going direct. Santa Claus is giving his goodie bags out, and Mars is giving you direct motion permission to take action and make decisions that you have been waiting to do and weren't so sure about. Let's dive into how this looks for you during this month ahead. And we're going to use a chronological order technique where I'll go through the month bit by bit. Also, keep in mind that if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is General Bell Curve Astrology, and it's not going to be as specific as if you saw a reader for your own chart. That's a lot different than just all signs astrology. And also check out what I have to offer. My name is Lori Lothian. This is Western Tropical Zodiac Astrology. This is not sidereal or Vedic. You might want to join me on my Venus class, and there's a link to get on the wait list for that. 6 weeks long, $40 to help navigate the Venus retrograde. Hasn't happened like this since 2017, and it's a very powerful one, much more powerful than back then. As well, I'm going to call the class Liberate. If you haven't gotten my 2025 individual sign or all signs bundle, to navigate 2 hours of video content all about your sign for the year ahead with a PDF guidebook and audio, video downloads, etc. You can access the content various ways for your sign. Check it out below. The 25% sale is on until the end of January. Let's get rolling. And I'm recording this for Patreon community on January 21st. They get early access, ad-free content. All the stuff about me is in the description box below the video. Now, first off, best thing I want to say about this is that you are going to be finally feeling some kind of shift. And I'm going to show you the chart around matters that have been bothering you or holding you back, or that you needed to really consider around this part of your sky, sixth house, which is work. Now, when I say work, I mean you go to a job, you have an office, you have colleagues, you do something in the world to be of service. If you're retired, it's something you're doing kind of in the daily that has meaning. It also represents the place where we encounter sickness and therefore solutions to it. And often when we have a Jupiter transit through here, we find ways to improve our health, as well as we get lucky in work. And Jupiter entered this part of your sky way back, back in May of 2025. And will not 24, and will go out of here in early June of 2025. So there's about a bit of a yay you time here. But with the one thing you must know, he retrograded October 9th, and therefore he was like pulling back and reconsidering, kind of deepening the possible bounty for you. So if you're going, what do you mean I don't have a great job? My health isn't good. My pets aren't great. More pets, bigger pets, lots of pets. Jupiter is making things explode here. Great rental property opportunities, just some ideas. And Jupiter is ready to go forward on this month on February 4th. And that is so great, because this sixth house for you will light up like a Christmas tree in a way you have never seen before. Because even though Jupiter will activate the health, the pets, the rentals, and the work story, it's in collaboration with Pluto and your earnings house. And all I want to tell you is good luck, good for you, Capricorn, because your finances are going to get better, because your luck in the work environment is going to improve, and your health is going to improve as well. And you'll start to see that trending as of February 4th, as Jupiter stations direct and will be direct through to June. Now, let's go into the more chronological order. On February the 1st, Venus is going to end up combining her forces with Neptune. These two are dreamy soulmate love, visionary love. A hummingbird flew by for you. There's your message right off outside my window. And you are going to find yourself feeling, with this combination of Venus and Neptune in your third house, as if you have some kind of dream come true, visionary moment or spiritual moment connected to love, romance, travel. Creative projects online that you might be doing in the social media sphere, developments that may occur in sort of super juicy ways when it comes to the relationship with siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. If you're an artist or creative working online, this is a beautiful point in the sky for something delightful. Now, even though it starts on February 1st, it's really on February 2nd that it gets another flavor. Venus has been stuck between a rock and a hard place, between Saturn and the North Node. And that's not a place she likes to be, stuck between two malefics, dampening her exaltation in Pisces. So you might have noticed that perhaps January 20th to February the 2nd, you felt a little stuck with travel, relations with the aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, a little hemmed in with your travel plans, your ideas, your writing projects, your creative projects online. A little stress around there. And then boom, she busts out and she breaks free, and all is different on the 2nd and 3rd, and she gets out of what we call a malefic enclosure. The North Node is amplifying it and turning the volume up. And so when it comes to romantic travel, you might have some beautiful experiences in romantic travel storylines, and especially with a significant long-term partner with Mars in your 7th house. And this could look like something like the second and third of the month of February have exquisite high romance with deep spiritual awakenings involved, or deep spiritual connection to a significant romantic partner. Now, when we move forward, we also can see that as we approach the 3rd and 4th, as Jupiter gets ready to head direct, Mercury is going to chime in. And I find this to be quite positive, because Mercury is going to support Jupiter to go forward and do something important for you in work, health, pets, and rentals. 6th house meanings. Mercury is the messenger with the ideas in the house of earnings. This looks very much like, to me, an opportunity for some work to evolve for you or develop in a lucky way. And so Mercury on February 3rd, trining Jupiter, and by the 4th, Jupiter takes orders and goes direct. Now, money for a pet, money for a rental, sure. Otherwise, something good is trying to happen, quite lucky, quite fortunate. You're going to feel the vibe on the 3rd and 4th of February. And again, health, work, pets, and rentals. Next, on February the 6th, Venus is going to end up in a sextile to Pluto, which is a wealth yoga. Now, Venus is exalted in your Venus has moved on to your 4th house of land, home, property, real estate, and she flows to Pluto in your money house. And the only way I can say it is wealth with property, money for a property, money to buy a property, selling a property and making a lot of money, wealth in the home, money coming to you from a family member, like an inheritance. Family member gives you money from a family of origin. Mom or dad give you some money, but there's kind of a money boost here, and it's really nice. And it's on February 4th, and it could lend itself to some kind of property, land, home, resources, money, energy, or you have the money to buy something of great value for your home that brings you joy and pleasure. And it's a sweet little spot in the sky, February 6th to the 8th. On February the 6th to the 12th, Mars is going to flow in a very long, long trine to the planet Saturn. And that's really important if you have something you want to get done. Like this is perseverance, discipline, and hard work pays off, but it's also connected to your travel house, and it's also connected to a significant long-term relationship. So in some way, maybe something is about enduring, strength, perseverance to go the distance with a business partner, a long-term love relationship, and it may involve travel. It may involve a lot of conversation and communication, but there's a perseverance and discipline to it as well. Certainly, if you're doing something in the online world that you're trying to push into the marketplace, the audience and the clients, you might be really working hard to get that project under wraps and finished up in a timely manner. But think about stoic discipline and perseverance in love and business partnerships and projects that involve the public. Now, in the middle of all of that, on February the 9th, Mercury will conjunct the sun. And this is a very beautiful divine download, and a day on the 9th that you might get some important information or news. And that is coming through your 2nd house of resources and earnings and possessions. And so it's usually a financial matter here. Mercury and the sun co-joining together, while they are also talking to, in a square, the wealth star Algol in the house of money luck and winning money, could also be some surprise or exciting news or legal contractual agreements connected to money that comes in a surprising way. Use the word luck, win, maybe gamble. I wouldn't advise you to try to gamble, but you never know. In other words, like surprise, wealth, money luck, good fortune, 5th house, kaboom, and it jolts you right through into the possessions house. You can definitely look at that as positive for your finances. It might feel a little like light or cool or good, but with Pluto in your 2nd house, some of you could get quite a bit of money coming through your sky. Mercury could be the news that the money's on the way. Mercury could be the check that's in your hand. Mercury could be the bank deposit slip, whatever it is, the wire transfer. February 9th is lit. Now you'll feel this energy on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, but it is exact on the 9th. Not too shabby for you guys. Also, when we think about the full moon that's happening on February the 12th at 24 degrees of Leo, it's in your ka-ching chunky money house, a fullness, a completion from seeds planted back in late August, early September that say, what is it that you were trying to plant around the money you don't make in a business deal or earnings, like you're not working for it. It could be your, tax rebates. It could be inheritance money, spousal support, divorce settlement money. It could be money coming through an inheritance, money coming through a win. But whatever that is, that's also very lovely because a full moon is a fulfillment or a completion or a, harvesting of something that was working its way through your sky starting 6 months earlier. And you might find that you make completions and endings also in the month that follows about the way you handle those 8th house monies. So there's so many ways that could work out, but it's a full light in the sign of your 8th house. Let's move us forward to the 12th so you can see what I'm talking about. The moon will be opposite the sun. It's a 24-degree moon to be precise. It is in an activation that requires actions and decisions to Uranus, some kind of jolt of surprising money. Now, this is a house of lovers and children, so they may have some surprises in their money, but there's some kind of money surprise running through the sky. Well, Venus, it says it could also involve real estate and property, legacy, wealth, and inheritance. Any of this is possible. It's a fulfillment moon. So again, it's been trying to work its way to this point for the last 6 months. And technically, it could also involve spousal separation monies, but in a very positive and delightful way. Ka-ching, you seem to win out here. Fulfillment here can unfold over the course of 1 month. Like you're going to see what this moon has for you. So pay attention to February 12th at a month, and it will linger into the 6 months after period. Now we're coming into those dead zones with cell phones when you're driving your cars and when you hit a no cell phone part and you're talking to a friend and all of a sudden the signal drops. That's what we have. You're going to have a dead zone. We all have a dead zone. Or a doldrums. There's no wind for the sails. That's February 13th to the 19th. And instead of looking at it as a negative, think of it as a positive. In India, they call the planets grabbers. They take us, they move us around on the game board of life. We feel like we have no agency. We're like, oh my God, there's a terrible thing in the sky. And I lived it out. Like I became the pawn for that, like Mars-Pluto problem. No. This is different. This is empty space. This is a blank canvas. How do you want to paint it in? How do you want to fill it in? Now, because Capricorns, you are ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is in your 3rd house, connected to the node of fate, connected to Neptune. It could imply that February 13th to the 19th, you might focus on making some long-range dreams and goals true in a very exciting way that can bring you worldly success. Could be writing projects, travel plans, communications, websites, online businesses, setting up a brick and mortar business, things you're doing with neighbors and neighborhood, things that connected to your aunts, uncles, cousins, and long-range kinfolk. There's something you can ponder the 13th to the 19th and allow your visionary Neptune, Saturn, realism, and concrete structures, North Node expansion into the greatest destiny to come true. North Node might change your neighborhood. Some of you may move to a new home in a new neighborhood with all the action going on between the 3rd and 4th house. In the next 4 months, there may be a chance to procure a new rental home or purchase a home in the next 4 months. And this is part of bubbling up energies here for some of you. Or you've always wanted to travel abroad and be a digital nomad or go do some, what do you call it, caravanning through the Americas or the North Americas in your RV, something that you want to do or you've dreamed of doing with home and travel and neighbors and neighborhood and change is starting to percolate here for you. In this lull, in this empty space, use it like a blank canvas, envision what you want. And the way you envision that, you put it into your mind, it could come true, right? So as a man thinketh, your thoughts and your feelings become reality, whether you realize that or not. Now we're moving on. The lull is ebbing. But just as I want to point out the lull, Mercury, the messenger and the communicator and the commerce guy sometimes is about on Valentine's Day to move into a new sign. He's down here in your third house of travel. Now, he's a protector of travelers, and he's also merchandising and marketing and selling in a marketing and selling and communicating house. So here's a few thoughts. It looks like you might travel with great protection, and that's wonderful. And this is on the 14th of February. And it unfolds that you can do that protected travel through until March the 3rd. That's how long he spends in your third house. Communications with siblings and extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, and younger sibling, if you have one under you, those are going to be important. You'll be doing a lot of those talking. Because this is going to trine Mars in the house of a significant relationship, there may be a lot of communication going on with a significant partner in your life, in business or love, as well as travel, as well as writing and communicating and speaking and thinking about ideas that you have. It's a very fertile time with Neptune there, North Node and Saturn, for putting into place some true long-term dreams and goals. If you're a writer, you could write a visionary book under this energy, or at least the draft of the book. So there's lots of excitement there for you. And, Mercury here is under a little duress. He's in a kind of dreamy water, mystical state. So it's better to channel a book under this than it is to try to follow a formula and a format. But he's still going to do something best for you here, the best he can. If you are looking at work opportunities emerging, they may require you to travel and to sign contracts that agree that you're going to travel, or your work involves travel or commuting or something like that. Or you could just simply be communicating a lot while you're traveling, posting on Instagram every single day. I mean, that's the kind of vibe that could happen here. All right. So the next thing I want to point you toward is that on February 20th, Mercury, now still moving through your third house of communications and ideas, is going to, on February 20th, have a connection to the planet Jupiter that's very positive in some ways, because it propels lucky action and golden opportunities to happen. So here, let's get it back to exact on the 20th. So Mercury at 11 degrees and Jupiter at 11 degrees. Jupiter has turned direct, as you know, so they're both moving forward, and Mercury's chasing after Jupiter. So Mercury wants Jupiter to do something, and they have a mutual reception. They're in each other's houses. It gives it a lot of power, a lot of cooperation. So work opportunity and travel, communications project and work, improvement of health through some local situations in your environment, especially your neighborhood. Traveling to pick up a pet traveling to you because it's a rescue from Mexico or something. A lot of luck around communications and work and communications. Now, work, if you're retired, is service or what you're doing in the world, what you're up to, etc. A rental opportunity signing and contract is very classic under this energy, and it's very fortunate. So if you were to be looking at a place to rent, or as a landlord to lease your property, February 20th opens up a really beautiful glow around properties and rentals for you. Now, on February 23rd, Mercury will trine Mars, and Mercury and Mars are going to be working as a team, and they're good for actions that are decisions that you can act on, actions that are intelligent, ideas that are actionable. These are kinds of vibes. They're also really good for commercial success in business when they come together. Here's Mercury, here's Mars. Mars turns direct on the same day, the 23rd, 24th, or at the same time that Mercury talks to Mars. Now, let's go back, and I want you to just close your eyes and listen in. This is an important transit of Mars in your seventh house of long-term business partners and love partners, because it hasn't happened like this since 77, 78, fall to summer. And Mars here is very interesting. He can separate you from your significant other. It's just like travel, or we're apart from each other. And he's been in this part of your chart since January 6th. He's moved. Now let's go back in time. Let's get the story straight. So September 4th to November 4th, Mars moved into your seventh house. You may have had a lot of tension and almost broke up with a business or love partner, for example. Then, or business contracts were there trying to materialize, and they maybe didn't quite work. Then what happened is Mars retrograded on December 6th, and he was already in Leo, because November 3rd or 4th he left. November 3rd or 4th he left your seventh house. And he went into chunky money and long-term money and money from, business partners stuff. And he turned around after being there since December 6th. And on January 6th, he retrograded backwards into the sign of Cancer. Now, he's in the sign of Cancer until mid-April, April 17th, 18th, but he's going direct. So something that was going on in your life in October that needed you to consider it more deeply is ready to say yes. Now, again, think business partners, business contracts, business alliances, and also think long-term love relationship situations. And something about the October timeframe that was in play is now ready to go forward. Now, Mars is decisions and actions, separation and cutting. He's in the house of those things, but he's also momentum, drive, and action. So finally, that business deal that was on the table comes back and you sign away and it's engaged, but it requires travel or something like that. Finally, the relationship situation is determined to go in this direction or that. There's a decision for you and a significant relationship partner about what to do in that relationship. And so there's energy momentum. And with Mercury flowing to this energy momentum with Mars and having a say in it, emails, phone calls, text messages, and conversations and legally binding contracts are all on the table. February 25th, 26th, and 20. I go 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Oh, sorry. February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Okay. February 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That whole Mars, Uranus, Mars, Mercury story is in play. Now, there's a bit of a wall that could be called a hard place, that Mercury's going to crash into. I bumped into Saturn. I hit my head here on February 25th. A day or two before and after February 25th, there's a sort of constriction. Mercury and Saturn together are fine. It could be enduring, lasting ideas, conversations that are serious and sober-minded, but it can also feel like something that wants to take off can be coming into a constriction or constraint. So it could be that you've got this business contract or decision in a marriage partnership or relationship, and all of a sudden or situation with someone that's a client that's important, and all of a sudden you have to stop and consider something that needs more form and structure. And let's face it, I mean, Mercury's in Pisces, he's like loosey-goosey, mystical, and floating in transdimensional realities. And now he's banging into Saturn. And Saturn's like, okay, well, this might feel really hard, but we have to look at this a little bit more seriously, and we have to be more responsible about what we're choosing here, that kind of thing. It's a short stint, and it could be a conversation with a cousin, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, or a sibling, for example, or a local neighbor. And it might feel like a hard conversation or a hard decision or a hard day around communications. And it's exact on the 25th, but it's in play the 24th, 25th, and 26th. Now, on February 27th, Mercury sextiles Uranus. Uranus is about what we don't expect. So good luck trying to tell you what it is. It's unexpected, surprising developments connected to information, news, and ideas. You could find that it's the email, the phone call, the text message, the inbound, something that is going to show up on your doorstep on the 27th that you were surprised by. It could involve one of your children. It could involve your partner that you would call my lover or my romantic partner. It could involve a creative or entrepreneurial business project. And whatever it is, it's like, oh, surprise. But you feel good about the surprise because you have a sextile, which is a positive relationship between these two planets. But it is a surprise. It's unexpected. And yet it has also connections to a wealth star as well, Algol. So let me know what happens with your children, with your lover, with you. Surprises in play. Yes, for you. Yay, you. All right. Finally, a new moon is happening. It's at 9 degrees of the sign of Pisces. 9 degrees of Pisces is happening in where this pile up in your third house. Holy man, guys. This is indicating the possibility, February 27th or even February 26th or 25th. The last week of February says, are you traveling? Are you writing? Are you communicating? Are you marketing and selling something? Are you setting up a new business structure or business? Something like that is trying to pile up in your third house. Are you learning a new course or teaching one? Skills-based learning and teaching is here. So there's this huge dominating stellium, which is very, very rare. And it's really activating that third house. And so you see this moon embedded in a stellium, and you can know that this is a big deal. And a new beginning and a fresh start, a new neighborhood, a new writing project, a new business, a new website. a new course you're going to teach or study or learn, a new way of relating to a sibling, a new beginning with a sibling relationship. Whatever it is, it's good because it sextiles you. And, the neighborhood thing is important here, right? Because the North Node wants to amplify, and often it gets destined change. So there may be a destined change of neighborhood in the sky. And in general, because of the situation with Jupiter, it could be a rental property, but there is something going on for you here. And a new moon can show its true face to you over the course of a month afterwards and up to 6 months after. But certainly look in the short term for a new dream solid neighborhood that you've always wanted to live in, connected to Neptune dream, Saturn make it real, North Node destined. And same would apply to travel opportunities. Same would apply to relationships with those extended family members and writing projects and communicating projects, especially. This is a marketing and sales type of house. So if you're in a field of endeavor that's marketing and sales, there's a real focus on some kind of new start and that kind of career path, sales director, sales marketer, sales person, or whatever. You could really have a new beginning here. And certainly with Jupiter in your 6th house, a new job. Thank you for listening. I hope that was helpful for you guys and it helps you navigate the month of February. Don't forget, when you like and subscribe, comment, and share this video, it does something so amazing. It tells the algorithm that they should tell more people about my channel. So if that's a possibility that you want to participate in my growth, I'm nearing 100,000 subscribers. Yay me. I've been doing this online for about 5 years. So if you want to push me up, I'm increasing my momentum lately. I'd so appreciate that. It's just a small little helper mode for how my channel wants to grow with your help. So it's an intricate feedback loop. And thank you for listening, and have a wonderful month ahead, you Capricorns.